Hey everybody, this is Don Miller. Thank you so much. It's another edition of what we call Drinking and Judging, the Don Miller Show. Myself and of course, Real Rap Kane. You can follow him on YouTube at Real Rap Kane. He has an insightful conversation all the time. My buddy Jay Kane. Also, shout out to the podcast doctor over there. Phil, what's up, man? Thank you so much. First, I want everybody to do this for us. Please go like and subscribe. Hit the button, like and subscribe, share at YouTube. Please do that for us. We appreciate it greatly.
And comment.
Yes, please. Tell your friends. Tell them about the show. If you are new to the show, welcome to the show again. This is the Don Miller Drinking and Judging podcast with my friend Real Rap Kane. A lot to talk about, okay? We missed last week. A lot to talk about. And one of the things I enjoy about the podcast space, I've been on radio for a very, very long time. But what I enjoy about the podcast space is I can just go all the way in, full throttle when I need to, because there are going to be some topics that that are near and dear to me, and I take seriously. And Jay and I both have these topics in us where you're going to see something different, and we have to let you know that on this show. And this is one of the things I like this space, right? We can just let it all out and have a real conversation. And there's some conversations can't be had without demonstrative words. Sometimes if somebody's an asshole, I got to just be honest with you and tell you they're an asshole or bullshitter, okay? And especially in the areas where we need the most help, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to quickly get into a conversation tonight about a movie that just came out, Woman King, starring the brilliant actress Viola Davis. There's a lot of controversy surrounding this movie. Davis plays a king, a leader of a group of women, right? And I think
a woman army or something, right?
Yes. I'm going to tell you this. We have not seen the movie, right? I'm not going to see it. Jay may see it. I'm not going to see the movie. I don't go see a lot of stuff, especially if the adaptation or the depiction is not on point with something I've read before, right?
Yeah.
So if I know the story, I'm not going to go to a movie that's going to distort the story. I can't be comfortable with that. Okay,
I understand that.
So, but many people don't know some of the stories that are becoming adaptations, and so I think if I know the story, if I've read this story in writing,
yeah,
I generally don't go to a movie and see it, especially if it's about real history.
Because it's going to be stepped on. The movie's going to be stepped on.
And then and I get thrown off, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So especially when our history is stepped on. For those who don't know what stepped on means, okay, I'm going to let Jay tell you this, right? For real.
You want me to explain that?
Please explain stepped on. Please, listen to this.
Stepped on is where you take a narcotic and you cut it with something.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that make it stepped on. I'm trying to, I don't.
Kind of watered it down a little bit, right?
No, it's a lot of watered down.
Okay. So
useful information.
So when our history is
so you hear stepped on, that means that it was distorted, it was manipulated, or whatever the case may be.
Okay, so when our history is stepped on, I just can't. If I've read this or I can't, I'm not going over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for those who watch this or plan on watching it, I'm not gonna mess it up for you, but I want to talk about the history of the story that is now on the screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's not talk about the screen, but the history of such story, right?
Yeah.
And I want to thank all the brilliant scholars out there who are talking about this, Dr. Boyce Watkins and many of the other scholars that are talking about this and presenting this conversation. But I want to keep it really simple for y'all. My issue with this all the time is when we step back or sit back and let somebody come in and do our adaptation of our history. I promise you.
It's going to be manipulated.
And we have to, at some point, right, say, no, I'm sorry, we ain't going to let I'm good, right?
Yeah.
I'm good, right? At what point does your
moral compass,
it's more important to you to some cash? You follow me? And that's what when will it become more important to you than
you're talking
a money
anomalies,
grab,
though,
man?
but you're talking anomalies.
No, there's some guys out there like that, man.
They're anomalies, though.
You got Denzel Washington. He stood seriously, right, on what there's some roles he just ain't, he said no to a lot of big money roles. But at what point though, right? At what point do we pull away from the narrative? At what point, right? Is it just not okay? And I think look, and I'm going to put some books on the screen because I want y'all to read. I encourage y'all to read, right? But I want to talk about the last surviving person in America was a gentleman in a place called Africatown, Alabama. And in 1927, Zora Neale Hurston went and interviewed this man, right? He was one of the last survivors of those ships that came over, right? His name was his American name was Cujo Lewis, okay? He came here as Mr. Kosala, right? And in her interview with him, right, it is so brilliant, right? He talks about, as a young man, being in a village raided by the Dahomey tribe, right? And how these women were so vicious and they were cutting throats, and he'd never seen anything like this in his life, right?
Yeah.
And he made it on a slave ship to a place right outside of Mobile called Africatown, Alabama, and put that book back on the screen. And Zora Neale Hurston interviewed him in this book, okay, Barracoon, right? She wrote it a while ago. It just came out to light in the last, I think, 18, right? But I want you to go over to Amazon and get this book, right? Because, of course, many of y'all know Zora Neale Hurston from Their Eyes Were Watching God and many of her great pieces of literature. She's brilliant, 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 right? But our history is what it is, right? So when a friend of mine took his 2 daughters to this movie the other day, right? And they were 12 and 11, and he said, whoa, right? Because you know how they rated this movie, PG.
Oh, yeah,
okay?
yeah.
This wasn't a PG movie, right?
Yeah.
This wasn't a PG movie, right?
Yeah.
And the point is this, guys, for real, okay? First of all, they know what's in this movie. Let's start here, right?
That's a fact. They
know what's in this movie, right?
Yeah.
They rate, somehow this movie gets a PG, right?
Yeah.
And people see PG, right? Parental guidance suggested. They take their kids, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then all hell breaks loose in front of your 11 and 12-year-old, right? Stuff you ain't ready to have.
Like, it was that gory?
Yeah, it was pretty terrible. But the point is, right? I'm just saying, at what point does our history become more important than somebody making money? Initially, and we're going to take some phone calls at 352-717-4071. Initially, right, Lupita Nyong'o, y'all know the brilliant young actress, Lupita, right? And she was Lupita. She was initially brought in as one of the leads in this. And then in 2018, she goes to Africa, goes to Benin to film a documentary, right? And she sees something and learns about
The true history.
And by the time she comes back here, she don't
Totally
want nothing to do with the
different
project.
mindset.
She's
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
She's
yeah.
out. I'm sorry. I don't want nothing to do with the project, right?
Yeah.
But if you read the accounts of this gentleman in Barracoon by Zora Neale Hurston, right? And if you go back and understand and talk to people who are from Nigeria, which borders this country, right? Benin, Nigeria borders Benin, right? And if you talk to people who know about the Yoruba tribe, right? And some of the other tribes that have come from that area, like there's one tribe that they almost wiped out. And I'm just saying, I get it. It's real history, right? But let's tell the whole story. Should black people boycott this? If we're not going to tell the whole story, people don't take your children. If your children ain't, just be careful taking your children. Can you imagine?
How is this not a hard R? Like
You tell me.
The movie.
You tell me. So I'm just saying, be careful. I know some people like his history, but think about this. This movie was told no, and I got an article I want to send y'all to read because I think you guys are going to love this article too. I read a lot. This movie was told no several times. And then after, listen to this, after Black Panther's success, this movie
They got green lighted.
okay,
That makes sense.
right? Think about this: a woman king superhero, right? A black woman superhero. The message is clear to me, right? Maybe I'm thinking into this
What,
too
still
much.
along lines of demasculization?
It's a part of this is a part of it,
Part
man.
that narrative.
You don't think so? Look at it closely, right? Look at it closely, Phil. Okay. I try not to go see some of these movies. I don't, especially if I know the story, right? I just think there are a lot of people upset about this, but if you want to holler at us, man, call in 352-717-4071, right? I just believe, right, that this is after the slave trade was illegal. But,
Supposed to be.
Okay, right?
Yeah.
And they became the adversary, right? They were like, whoa. They were when they were told to shut it down, they pushed back. Right? But they were also being armed by European countries like France. Okay? France was giving guns for slaves.
For slaves, yeah.
Okay? And so we just have to be careful. Look, I'm not going to spend a lot of more time on this. I just wanted to, sorry about that. I wanted to put it out there, 352-717.
We got a call.
I know, I want to take the call, but I just want to say, look, so they're saying, Don, you got to tell us more. I'm not going to tell you more, but I'm going to tell you some stuff you can read, okay? And maybe you can learn more, but I want to send you where you can read. So I'm going to put it in the description box, subscribe and like, of course, and then I'm going to tell you how you can go read this stuff. Hey, you on the Don Miller Show? Who is this?
Hey, this is Holly Holloman. How you doing, Don?
I knew it was you. How you doing, Holly Holloman? Ladies and gentlemen, Holly Holloman's joining us. Go ahead. What's up, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm just listening to the show, and I really want to know more about what's going on. I'm kind of like everybody else. I need to know more about it. I have not seen the movie. Had plans to go see it, but some of the things that you've been saying and some of the things that I've read kind of make me not sure if I want to support something like that.
Well, I think it's white. I think personally, it's whitewashing our history. Go ahead, Joe.
I'm conflicted, right? The reason why I'm conflicted is that we've gone out and put black dollars behind less, right? No, I'm being honest. Right? So do you want to see where it's so hard for us to get a movie featuring us? Do you really want that movie to fail because of what it's going to create? But it's already, you know what I'm saying? It's already hard for us to get a part of that marketplace, right? To get our fair share of looks. So if this movie fails, it's going to be that much more harder because they say, see, it doesn't work with them.
Okay. Now, let me just say.
I'm just saying, I'm looking at it from both sides of it.
Go ahead. I hear you.
I'm just looking at it from both sides of it.
Go ahead, Holly.
Yeah, well, I get what he's saying. I understand that, but we did have shows, TV shows, movies, and things. Step and Fetch It. That we didn't say that for that. I mean, at the time we were like, oh, look, this is a good TV show, and now you're embarrassed by it because the way it depicted us. So again, it's just a modern day. It could be a modern day Step and Fetch It. I'm not saying that it is because I haven't seen it, but I'm just saying that just because something gives us, some sort of a power to be, to have the movie or whatever, it doesn't necessarily, like you said about Denzel, you don't always have to take those roles. Sometimes you can come in and make a difference or make some changes and things like that. I think there was a Chadwick Bosick or whatever his young fella's name is. Yeah, Boseman. He was in he was on a TV show at one time, and he went in and told the writers he needed them to change it because they were trying to make it stereotypical.
But again, but he's few, okay? Because I hear what you're saying, Jay, about making this a success. But based on what I've seen, there were white women behind this production.
No,
okay?
I'm not disputing that, right?
Yeah.
But let's really we going to talk about this. Let's talk about this, right? We don't want out there in support of the American gangster. We don't want out there in support of Training Day. Set it off. Menace to society. Like, come on, you pick. If we going to stand. See, this is the problem I have with the world, right? If we going to stand on a principle, don't pick and choose when you want to stand on that principle. Let's stand on it 100% across the board. Don't be selective.
I love what you're saying.
So we don't select it. We don't support it. Worse.
I love what you're saying.
Like, let's keep it a stack.
You know, I love what you're saying, and I totally agree because, like you don't the stuff you just mentioned, I ain't never seen none of them.
But how does that depict black people?
I totally agree.
Like, come on, man. Let's not do that.
I totally agree, but I can tell you that did not depict the start of all of it in a negative light. Look, I hate those gangster movies. Those hood
It didn't
movies.
do what?
Not where it all started for us. I think we know how it got to that point. We know how it plummeted into shoot up, bang,
They don't show the start. They don't show when you in the house with the rats and roaches.
I know.
They don't show that. That's the start.
No. The start is what
They show when they going to meet the connect or they getting their money right to go buy the drugs and all that. They showing him picking up the white boy in the car talking about, is you ready to learn how to handle the streets? They ain't no depiction on that to show.
So
the
you
right
say
way.
this is the same thing?
It's the same. It's the same toilet. It's the same fruit from the same poisonous tree.
Okay, go ahead, Holly. Hey, I hear you. I think you get me on that. No,
That's
I
all
hear
I'm
you.
saying. Like, let's not pick and choose. Let's not be selective.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying, and I wanted to approach this from a perspective of I just want people to go read. You know, there's another amazing article in the New Yorker by Julian Lewis. I want you to go if you can. Julian Lewis, the New Yorker. It really tells in detail how this all came about. So you can go see it if you want to. We just had somebody say they went to see it. Feel free to call us and tell us your thoughts. 352-717-4071.
Yeah, I'm telling them to call back. They said they tried to call, but Holly was on the line.
Okay,
so.
Holly, call back. But again, you know,
call from.
Okay.
Osiris.
Yeah, okay. Osiris is joining us.
Press
Okay,
1
great.
to
So,
send a voicemail.
Sorry.
this is Osiris, who is a great friend of ours and one of my people that I learned from a lot and that I lean on. He's in the book club, and he's a great brother, man. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, family? What's happening?
How you doing,
What's
man?
going on, bro?
Bro,
Man, good,
talk to
man,
me,
good.
bro. What did you see? Did you see this yet? Did you see it yet?
Nah, I didn't look at it, and I probably am not going to look at it. I kind of did some background homework refresh on the folks, and you know, as you take a look at it, it's important to read. You know, you and I talk about this a lot, so when you understand, you know, the history of these folks and what they stand for. Then when you start looking at where we are today, we start talking about reparations, right? So now you got Bill Maher on TV talking about, hey, look, you know, everyone's had slaves now. So now this whole narrative of, you know, everyone's had slaves. So black people, you know, you really shouldn't be asking for reparations. So I want to get a little deeper than just kind of the surface level of what we're looking at from the movie and everything. You know, start to take a look at TV and you're going to start seeing a bunch of folks talking about, well, you know, black people don't really need reparations because, you know, Africans were enslaving people also. So you got to start
a common narrative
at that as well. So, yeah, so
Wow.
that's coming out right now, man. So that's all I want to kind of drop there, my brother.
Hey, man, listen, thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate talking to you a lot. He's our friend, man. Thank you so much, man. Listen what he just said, right? It's narrative time. The bell is ringing, right? So why not put this out there and soften it up, okay?
Yeah.
Why not put it out there, soften it up, because everybody is talking about reparations now. You guys had slaves and you sold them to us. Remember?
It's a little more to that story,
But again,
I know, at the
base, the optics, would you
optics.
agree?
No, I'm
At
with
the
you.
optics, it's like, oh, what are you guys talking about? But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe, right, and that was brilliant, okay? I'm not going to see it. I just don't want to see it because I know the story. I've read the whole story,
yeah.
right? And I'm like, okay, if it's anything less than this, which was vile and disgusting and murderous, right? Which was demeaning and it emasculated men at a level you've never seen before, right?
Yeah.
Even though the king was a man. Even though the king was a man, He created this army, right?
Yeah.
And sent them to widen his territory by killing and just, right?
No, Don, don't get it. Please don't. I don't want nobody out there to get it confused.
Right.
I really understand what you're saying. I understand your perspective. I respect your perspective.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying, like, if we going to do this, then we don't need to go see another Amistad. I'm just
No, you're
keeping it
right.
a buck, bro.
You're right, man.
Like, how
I
many
agree,
times?
man.
How many times y'all
Yeah.
gonna retell the same story? Like, y'all keep renaming it and different characters and all that.
Because
Like,
it ain't about the story.
No, it's not
It's about the narrative.
no, it's about the narrative.
Yeah,
And me, the narrative is to keep you feeling subservient. That's what I think. It's still some psychological play. You know what I'm saying? Like when you keep watching these movies over and over, it's still gonna make you feel like you inferior, you subservient, you're secondary. You know what I'm saying?
And
Like,
guess what? And what better way, right, to get the masses of the Negro to lay eyes on it?
to put an all black cast on there. No, I get the
What better
agenda.
way, huh?
No, I agree with you on that. We lockstep on the agenda and with the purpose what we believe.
But I guess you're right.
is.
But I understand what you're saying, and I support that, right? Because to me, right,
yeah,
think about this, right? Name some movies
that showed us like that.
that made that. Okay,
That showed us
okay,
superior.
let me guess.
Nat Turner was the closest.
Right. Okay.
But you see how that turned out.
You know, I just feel like, we got to be
Free
careful.
State of Jones, maybe.
I just feel like we got to be careful.
But it's like, come on, man. Like, how many? We need to boycott all that, though. I've been saying that. I'm not going to see another slave movie. I don't want to see another slave movie in my life, man.
I was talking to Quetta Jean Johnson from the Johnson family, and I don't watch them. I'm not going to watch.
I'm burnt out.
I have not seen Django, the last black movie.
Django was more like a comedy, though.
But the last black one I watched, and I'm going to tell you this,
yeah.
was Roots as a child, and that made me hate white people
Yeah, Roots
at a
did something
level,
to you.
man. The trauma from Roots,
You know, there's
right?
a term for that, right? It's called black trauma porn.
Okay.
That's what they call it, where there's an influx of
Yes.
movies and television shows that highlight that stuff.
Never heard that term before, but I agree.
Yeah, black trauma porn.
I agree with that.
But again, when you look at it, though, right?
Yeah.
Go look at what has won Oscars, and go look.
Because you
Now,
brought up Denzel. That's why I brought up those movies.
But go look at some of the movies that won Oscars. The
Training
movies.
Day.
Training Day. He won Oscars.
That's what I'm
the
saying.
The movie
Look at
didn't.
it.
But go look at the black movies. Which one of these slave movies got nominated? I
12 Years a
guarantee you.
Slave?
12 Years a Slave.
I never seen that movie.
Right?
I never
but
seen
how many
Amistad.
got nominated? All you go look
Yeah.
at them. The Butler. Okay, remember
Yeah.
they had the
Harriet,
Butler,
Harriet.
Harriet,
I
12
did
Years
watch
a
Harriet.
Slave.
I did watch Harriet.
Come on, it was a bunch of them in a row.
No,
and,
it was like consecutive.
and I was so beat up by it, right? The butler, the maid. It was like, oh, come on, right?
It's like y'all left the slave studio set up because y'all just ran right into another one.
It's just to me, right? And think about it, right? You go look at the soundtracks, music soundtracks.
It's depressing.
What is the last black music soundtrack for a motion picture that won an Oscar?
Black Panther.
Okay. Do you remember what won before that?
Nope.
It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp.
Oh,
wow.
Hustle and Flow?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp.
Yeah.
Won an Oscar, right?
Yeah.
If you didn't get the message then, right?
Yeah.
Go look at all the good music was out in that time period.
Whoop that
right?
trick.
Huh? Remember?
Terrence Howard.
I'm like, are you kidding me? But again, I tell you, if you don't understand the narrative, if you don't know your history, so you can't let your history be a mystery, right? And go read. Please go get that book. Okay, I'm going to put it back up for a second. Jordan Neal Hurston. It's a book that was written a long time ago. This came to light.
She need to get her flowers too. She don't
She
get
was
recognized.
amazing, right? But
She don't get
Barracoon,
recognized.
The Story of the Last Black Cargo is the title of this book, and it's on Amazon. But I really want you to read the point in this book, or go listen to it, as many of you do. I listen to books. When she interviews Mr. Cujo Lewis, and he was on one of the last ships that came from that era, sold or seeking solace in another environment, right? Seeking a place, and they were taken by the Dahomey, which was depicted in this movie, however you depict it. But we are walking into a very gray area as it relates to black people bitching about slavery.
Hey, go to the phone lines now.
Okay, black people bitching about slavery. Y'all bitch about slavery and reparations. You ain't getting no slavery. You ain't getting no damn reparations. Let's go. I'm telling you, it's a setup. Hey, you on the Don Miller Show?
Hi, Don. This is Angel. How are you?
Hey, Angel. How are you?
Good. I did go see the movie. A lot of your points can be taken, but there's also, it opens up for people to actually look into the history of what happened.
They're not going to do it, Angel. If a person goes to see a movie, rarely does a person go see a movie and then go and read a book. Okay? Angel?
I teach adult civics all day long, and
Angel,
a lot of times people need a visual.
Angel, the people you teach are seeking knowledge. Okay? Remember, I just told you that.
The movie you want to be entertained.
The people you teach are seeking knowledge. We got to be careful when we don't. They're coming to you to grow because they have at some point decided you can't grow if you don't know. So they're seeking knowledge. So when they come to Angel and they sit down in that classroom, right, they want to know stuff, right? So we're not talking this. You got to be careful when you say that many people going to go look at this, then go get the book. First of all, that ain't happening because there's no book. You got to dig, and dig, right? But I'm going to give you some names. Right. I'm going to give you some names of some people that have studied this. Sylviane Diouf is a professor at Brown University, man. Wonderful African sister, right? But I just think for those of us, you can help us right now. You can help us right now. Watch this.
What is that, my dad?
If you go tomorrow and make them look into this entire thing, even if they've gone or they're not, you could help us by doing that.
Hey, so Angel, you went and saw the movie. What did you think about the overall quality and information of the movie?
So you gotta understand a little bit about me. I'm a Congolese descendant.
Okay.
In my family, we've had stories like this passed down for generations. And for me to see all of these absolutely beautiful black women on the screen taking the lead, the stories that I grew up with.
So that's more important to you than the story.
A lot of them were depicted.
Okay.
Say again?
That's more important to you than the real history, correct? You see black women taking roles.
What do you mean real history? I'm talking about my own family history.
I'm talking about, you just said black women taking roles.
Slow down. Let me explain because you have a narrative of how you feel about it. I'm explaining what it touched in me for this movie. Okay. So I never got to see books and everything about those things that happened generations for us before my family arrived here in the early 1800s.
Okay, so you're
right?
Congolese.
My mom's side of the family was already here. My dad's side of the family.
So you're Congolese.
Germany and the Congo.
You're Congolese, but your family been in this country since the early 1800s.
Yes.
You're American. Okay. You're American.
What does that mean?
It's just, I get it. I get it. We're all, just say you're African. You just say you're African and you know where you came from in Africa, okay? You're Congolese. I wish I knew where I came from. Guess what? Most of us don't even know, so you're blessed by knowing. But I could tell you this. Sounds like you got the same mindset of the rest of the African women who have held on to their roots or closeness to their environment. Let me ask, are you a Democrat or a Republican?
I'm Republican.
Okay, right.
All day long.
You married a black man?
I was.
Did you marry a black man?
I did.
Okay. Thank you. Did I throw you off? Did I throw you off? Hello? I threw you off with that, didn't I?
She's trying to figure out where you're going with this.
No. Did I throw you off by asking you that question?
Yeah, I'm just trying to feel what is the purpose of the question about me being married?
No, I didn't ask you if you're married. Whoa. I didn't ask you if you're married, okay? Anyway, let me just ask you a question. I understand what you're saying. You're an educator, and you think more people are going to go watch this, right? After they see the movie, they're going to go study this and go look it up and learn what really happened. That's what you believe, correct?
That's what I've seen.
Or you hope.
When there's something that's new that hasn't been touched on, a lot of people go and investigate and wants to know more. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. That's a good point she makes.
Yeah, I wouldn't use a lot though. I would use.
Look at
I
me,
wouldn't
dude,
use a
listen
lot.
to me.
Like that's not true. That's
Are
not
you
accurate.
kidding me?
No, most
There-
people will go
so-
to movies to be entertained, not to be educated in the
So
first place.
you think people who go see some of these movies,
They are
I
not
said,
going
oh,
to
man,
go-
that don't seem like that was a real history. I'm gonna go read
No,
about
that's
this.
not what happens.
It's never gonna happen.
That's not what happens.
I gave her
Somebody
the
else, too.
opportunity, but let me just say this, right? I gave her the opportunity. I asked her those questions for a reason.
Don, I know where you was going with that.
I asked her those questions for a reason. Please, okay? You got to understand, right? And we got to be careful, okay? I understand people have attached themselves to a certain mindset, okay? When she says, as a black woman, that people going to go watch this movie, some of them, and go look it up, then I know what box she is engaging her life in. A box of ridiculousness. You don't know black people, apparently. That's a damn shame she don't know black people. Okay?
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Ain't no black
That's
person
not
there ain't
gonna
go
happen.
watch this movie and take their ass to the library.
Yeah, that's not. Hey, Don, go back to the phone line.
Hey, you on the Don Miller Show. Go back. Yeah, oh, that's ridiculous. Hello? Hey.
All right, is it me?
Yeah, you're on the phone. Hey, how you doing?
All right, good, man. I'm just trying to find out. I'm somewhat of a history nerd, right?
Yep.
On certain things. I'm not sure
Great.
about this particular movie, but from what I've heard about it, I'm going to see it this weekend. I'm trying to see what is the issue with it.
Well, because I think in the adaptation, and many things I've read by some of the scholars that I follow, in the adaptation, it doesn't present the relationship to the slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade, in this group, the way it should be, the Dahomey tribe, the way it should be depicted. It softens it up, okay? And even to such an extent, someone asked me today, so what if they sold slaves, right? And I just think we have to be careful when we allow movies or anybody else to soften up something that we continue talking about. Now, if Negroes going to stop talking about slavery, then they could present it any way they want to. Yeah. But if we going to still talk about slavery and reparation, then they need to know how sordid it was, right? So allowing somebody to soften it up, how does that help?
Well, I'll do my research on this particular one with the Dahomey tribe or whatever they're called. But when you look at when people say Africans sold each other in slavery, slavery wasn't the same. If I beat you in battle, right, and now you're an indentured servant, that's different.
Right. I know.
Right?
I'm very familiar with indentured servitude. Go ahead.
Right. So, they had a crystal ball to see what was going to happen at the end. I'm pretty sure some of that stuff that went down wouldn't have went down, but it was a lot different than a lot of people talk about. And I am a black Republican business owner, and I'm married to a black woman.
Okay, wait. Hey, wait.
Call in and tell us your marriage status.
No, he's just like, I'm a black Republican married to a black woman. Well, thank you. So, hey, caller, listen, you ain't the only black Republican on the radio right now on the podcast. So,
for sure.
I'm one for sure. I ain't never been ashamed.
Hey, make sure you subscribe, brother.
Thank you. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. But I appreciate it. Go look up the story and do that for me. Go look up the story. We appreciate it. I'm just saying, right, guys, in a perfect world, what the lady caller Angel said would be amazing. People are going to go watch this and get inspired.
It's just not reality.
And get inspired and to know more. But in the meantime, I just want people to understand. If you want to go and watch this movie and you haven't, go read about it first, okay?
Yeah.
Go read about the tribe. It is currently now the Republic of Benin. But before that, it was a different name. It was Dahomey. But I just want people to go read for real. It'll make your day. I'm telling you, you can learn so much stuff, right? Just go read. So I just wanted to hit on that, right, for a minute. Also, listen. So I'm going to put those books in the box. However we do that, that's going to be done. I want to hit something else before we get out of here, right? So there is a clip going around on social media right now.
Oh, this is where I'm going. I think it's going.
It's a clip out of 1954.
Oh, yeah.
And it's called "To Sail to the Negro." And it was allegedly put together, if you listen to the entire clip, I'll tell you how you can go listen. that it was put together by people who study people's shopping habits, whatever you call that. Okay, psychologists who study how somebody going to the mall with some
Market
nonsense,
trend
right?
analysis.
Okay,
I mean,
right,
you know,
absolutely.
like,
You know what it is.
know.
I want to play this clip because it's been going around and people are shocked and people are confused. I'm going to play this clip and I want to tell you about this clip. Go ahead. You ready?
All right, so I got it in 3 parts because it's
Okay,
4 minutes
that's
long.
fine.
So
That's fine.
This is
But
part
before
1.
you can sell to customers, you've got to get to know them. You must understand something about them. What do the Negro customers buy? Why do they buy? How do you sell to them? Let's find out. Let's hear the opinion of men who have spent a lifetime studying the buying habits of customers the world over. Here is what sales psychologists have to say about selling to the Negro.
The secret of selling to the Negro is expressed in one word. That word is recognition. Now, there's nothing unusual about that. People want to be recognized. They need recognition. That's basic in all of us. But perhaps because he's had so little of it, the Negro needs even more. He needs to feel important and appreciated. This need is a very real...
Stop right there. The Negro needs to feel important and appreciated. This came from 1954, How to Sell to a Negro. We're going to play the second half of the clip. We got it ready. Then we're going to stop it. Go ahead.
That last hat I bought just didn't hold up at all.
You see, for a long time, the Negro has been sold a lot of shoddy, second-class merchandise. So now he asks for name brands in order to make sure he gets his money's worth. Buying by brand, that's the first important Negro buying habit. Now for the second. The Negro buys good quality merchandise. Symbols of quality and prestige are very important to the Negro customer. This woman, for example, is buying fine crystalware. But she is also buying the admiration and approval of her friends and relatives. Listen to her thoughts.
My, isn't it beautiful? I can hardly wait to show it to Sally and Joan.
It's a well-known fact.
Stop it right there, okay?
That's actually 20 minutes long.
But
It's
wait.
much longer than
I want to
that.
play the last piece real quick.
A certain item often decides whether or not the sale is made. So remember, the Negro buys quality merchandise. That's the second important point. And here's the third thing to remember when selling to a Negro customer. When he specifically asks for one thing, don't try to sell him something else. Don't try to switch him at the point of sale. If you do, he'll probably react something like this.
Doesn't he think I've got the money to pay for it?
There's a reason
Thank
for
you
this
so much,
reaction.
Stop, man. Okay, this is 1954.
Yeah,
How
but
to
the
sell
data
to a
actually comes
Negro.
from the 20s and 30s.
I
though.
know. How to sell to a Negro, right?
Yeah.
And to understand where that one came from, right? That was commissioned by the owner, or involved for sure, the owner of Johnson Publishing Company in Chicago, Mr. Johnson, John Johnson. He created Ebony and Jet and many other publications. And that was in 1954.
Yeah.
And the Negro's still buying like that. That's the problem. The Negro is still thinking about how that outfit's going to look when she go over her girl's house. But Negro is still buying stuff by brand name.
Yeah, but there's a whole psychology behind that, Don. And it's I mean, we can look at the retail side of it, but let's look at the bigger life side of it, right? Where we feel like we've been excluded for so long to certain having lack of access, right? Whether it's a society of organization, university, right? So we go after these things because we didn't have access previously. Not because we see the real value in it, just because now we got access and it's like, let's go do it.
We ain't have it.
Yeah, we didn't have it before. We don't know what it's like to have it. So now we have it. So it's like, let's go get it.
You know, and someone shared that with me today, as a matter of fact. And I get it. I understand, but when I'm looking at the $1.6 trillion in spending
Oh,
power,
it's frivolous spending for sure.
the spending power is nuts right now. And in the last 20 years, right, blacks have been surpassed by Hispanics and Asians, but not by much, right? The growth is
but we
real.
still outspend them, though.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Think about this, right? In 2021, right? Black spending grew. Black wealth decreased. Right?
Yeah.
So what black wealth decreased 14%, while our spending grew 100-some percent. Okay? I'm confused. Okay?
I ain't confused. You know why, Don. They want to get this car or these clothes to go out there for a bunch of people that can care less what they got on or what they driving. So you get yourself in debt for somebody for you to say, look what I got on or look what I'm driving.
You know, and it's interesting you say that, right? Because we see people like this all the time.
Yeah.
And this conversation came about just the other day because someone was telling me how many of y'all drive German luxury cars. We all do.
We all do.
Okay. Okay. But
that's beside the point. That's
that
not
ain't
even
got nothing to do with it. Okay. Please, we don't have that conversation.
That's not even that.
We also car guys. We can tell you why we drive. Okay? But the point is,
I drive my car. It's not in the shop all the time.
Okay. The point is, just some of the stuff I see people buy, $300 shirts because they have Gucci, somebody else's name on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just for a T-shirt,
Now, come on, Don.
Have you ever paid $300 for a T-shirt?
No, come on, Don. Let's not be hypocritical right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
You like nice shit.
Okay.
Yes or no?
Yes,
You like nice shit.
Yes.
You own nice shit.
Yes.
You own nice shit that's expensive.
Right.
Okay.
No, wait.
I'm gonna walk you down this path now.
Some.
But no.
Some.
That's
Okay.
not what I asked you.
Okay, go ahead.
I didn't say your whole closet was filled with nice shit. I said, do you own nice shit?
Yes.
Okay. The reason why my psychology behind owning nice shit is because I can buy this shit one time. I don't gotta keep buying it over and over and over again.
I agree with you.
I got jeans I don't have 10 years.
Absolutely right.
Right?
I agree. 100%.
You go to Walmart, them jeans ain't gonna last you 10 years. I promise you.
You get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for, right?
But there are things
now,
I won't spend money on.
No. There
Right.
is
I ain't
a
spending
fine
money on
line
clothes.
Now
Right.
there's parameters within there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, to answer your question, I never spent $300 on a fucking T-shirt.
No, that's
I don't
nonsense.
spend $500 on a sweater.
And a shirt. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
right.
but not on a T-shirt.
Right.
Negative.
Right.
I'm gonna go.
Right.
I'm gonna go to Ross and get some goddamn polo V-necks for like $3 in a pack for $25.
But right, that's what. Yeah, absolutely. But that $1 trillion in spending, and you go to Instagram, you go to any of these sites, any of these platforms, and you see what's happening with it.
Yeah.
You see the fact that there are people who really can't afford something.
And
that's the concern.
That's
right?
the concern.
Right.
When you're
Those are
outliving your
people,
means.
You know,
that's the concern.
that when you see people, you're like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Right? And then they borrowing money.
Yeah.
From other people.
Yeah, that's when you're doing too much.
And I think this whole social media drive has got people. They're some of the stuff.
Hey, you know what the new saying is?
Yeah.
Money ain't the root of all evil now, and attention is.
It has to be.
No, attention is a mug today, boy.
But we're not
attention
buying. We're not buying land with this money, right? We're not creating businesses with this money, right?
We're making somebody else's business more.
Absolutely. We're not buying land. We're not purchasing land and record number.
Hey, Don, we got a call.
Let's go phone lines. We just purchase land and record number, and go around on Instagram and show your land you just got. Hey, you on
do that?
Hey, how you doing? Hello.
This is Harvey again.
Hey man, what's going on, Rosie?
Just listening to y'all. I mean, and y'all making some really good points here. And the thing that really is kind of throwing me off is the whole thing about spending your money on somebody else's name.
Right.
That's really what you're buying.
Yeah,
it's someone else's
absolutely,
name.
right.
And to me, and I get it. I want quality stuff. I do like quality stuff.
That's a fine
I do
line,
want to
though.
buy a shirt that lasts. Yeah, I want to get a shirt that lasts. I want to get a car that lasts. And I understand that. And a lot of times that comes with a price, but it doesn't have to have someone's name on it. And that's the thing is that, but we are we'll go buy some cheap stuff with somebody else's name on it. That's not, well, what they call it, a knockoff.
Yeah.
We'll go buy a knockoff because it looks like the Fendi emblem, or it looks like the Gucci emblem.
Right.
You know, but then, you know,
and
I mean,
until we get enough to buy the real thing. You know, I've known people walk and they say, I finally got enough.
They said fake it till you make it, man. Cut it out.
Let me get them Jordans.
And you know me, I've never
Chinese
really, Don, you know, I like nice stuff, but I've always been kind of a person that says if it's functional, then that's going to work for me.
Holly's always been that way.
I will get a Timex watch any day of the week because I know it's going to work underwater. If something was to happen,
you plan on being underwater, Holly?
It's going to light up.
You swim?
Light up.
You swimming?
When I press the button.
Are you swimming these
tell me
days?
What time it is?
Hey, are you swimming now these days? You swimming?
I've been swimming. I'm not one of those Negroes that can't swim.
No, I'm just saying. You say you want to watch. You want to watch underwater.
I mean, what you planning on jumping in the ocean?
But this is the thing. When you go to the beach or you go hang out, you know, around some water, and you got your Rolex on that you got to take off before you get in the water because you can't wear it in the water. And I'm just saying, but they have the same time on them. Both of them have the same time. Mine costs $39. Yours costs $3,000.
Yeah, I think you win a Rolex to the beach, you already out of pocket. But that's just me.
Well, but you come on, man. You've been to Miami.
No, I'm just saying, if you walking on the beach in Miami, that's something different. But you plan on getting in the water, what is the logical sense in that? I'm just saying, you lost me at that point.
But the logical sense is that people don't take off a Timex, you get on in the water.
No, I'm saying I'm not talking about the Timex. I'm talking about the people that feel like I'm going swimming, I'm gonna wear my Rollie.
But again, there are Rolexes that you can take in the water. Most of them, as a matter of fact. But
aquamarine, you definitely could do that.
But I'm just concerned that we're getting back to this place. When I saw that 1.6 trillion number, then everybody's got this going around the internet, how to sell to the Negro. It's like, think about it. Everybody knows how to sell to the Negro.
But the Negro.
But the Negro. That's the point. You follow me? Listen to me. You ever go to a black business and get treated so harshly?
Mm-hmm. You ever been to a Jamaican restaurant?
I don't go to a Jamaican restaurant.
I don't know.
Holly, hear what I'm saying?
I get treated with respect when I go.
So everybody know how to sell to the Negro.
But the Negro.
But the Negro.
Yeah.
Right? And we got to be careful with that because we are not building our communities. Man, you go look around right now. I live in a city where there's probably 11 or 12 very big Hispanic supermarkets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where we live, there at least Sedano's, Bravo, 11, and these are fully Hispanic owned. They're the size of any major supermarket in this country. These are supermarkets.
Yeah,
okay?
Definitely.
And they're giant, and they're all over. They're in these giant strip malls where they own everything in the strip mall, and it's generally Hispanic stores and businesses and restaurants, right?
Yep.
You got to drive 45, 55 minutes to find a soul food joint now, right?
Nah, you ain't got to drive. To find something good, you might.
No, you're going to drive long. But the point is, right?
I'm going to stop.
We don't have businesses like that. And why isn't there? What's the major black-owned supermarket? Holly, you know what it is? You in Atlanta.
No, Holly hung up.
Oh,
no, listen.
I don't know what
listen,
it is.
The thing with us, man,
I don't think it's one.
Is that you want to support black business, but black business be jacked up, man. We got to call a spade a spade.
Okay.
Either we got people there that ain't trying to work. It don't open on time. You got somebody in the back that's been in the back for an hour.
But again, it said when you watch that how-to.
The lack of etiquette.
When you go to YouTube, please like and subscribe to the show. But when you go to YouTube and you find that video, how to sell to the Negro, right?
Yeah, that's ill.
It's 1954. It goes down to saying, look, you don't call the Negro by their first name. You call them Mr.
You call him Mr. like you do.
Okay? Until the Negro says it's okay to call him by his first name. It was so many things, right?
But it also got deeper than that because it also went to the education of the children.
Absolutely.
Was saying how strong the education of the children was in the Negro household.
Absolutely. It broke it all the way down. So go watch
20 minutes. It's like 21 minutes. It's worth it.
The clip might make you say, wow, right? But if you watch the 21-minute clip, Jay,
it's worth it.
It's worth it. And I'm telling you,
it gives you a peek into their psyche that's going back damn
20
near a century. Like,
Right.
no, because they got the data from the 20s and the 30s.
right? Yeah, how to sell to a Negro, and there was a way to sell to a Negro that made that Negro keep coming back.
They keep coming back.
And I think what we don't understand, right, is the history of this game is cold, right? And I thought about a saying last week, Jay, on the show, on the Friday radio show, right? And how to sell to a Negro played right into it, right? You can skin them, but you got to think about this. You can only skin a sheep one time, but you can shave it 100 times.
Yeah, that's ill.
You can only skin a sheep one time, but you can shave it 100 times. Right?
Yeah, that's ill.
That's cold, ain't it?
Yeah.
That's cold to understand what that means, man. We keep getting hit, man. But our groups, like Osiris just said, we've had our business targeted. You're 100% right. I agree with that.
No, that's not.
But we haven't helped ourselves.
I'm about to say, but that means that we got to tighten up that much more within our own business senses. You know what I mean? Like, force them to burn our businesses down, like they have done.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
right.
they have done that, right? Why did they do that?
But
because those businesses were successful though, and they was flourishing.
But when you go look at the Black Wall Street, okay,
it was flourishing.
It was winning. It wasn't
it was
just
the
the Black Wall
strongest
Street.
financial institution in America.
There were so many.
It was several of them. It wasn't
places like this in the United States where African Americans had set up and done extremely well.
Correct.
And so the Black Wall Street is the one that gets most of the attention because it is absolutely a brilliant story.
Correct.
But there are places all over this country.
Yeah.
And most of them,
Mm-hmm.
most of them were wiped out by angry white
because
racists,
they was flourishing.
Okay? So we got to acknowledge that fact, okay? They were wiped out, but that's another part of history. Everybody need to go. We got to be careful when everybody want to wipe out history. We shouldn't let nobody wipe our history out. Give it to us the right way. They're right here. They run around now talking about take down these statues. Watch this of these Confederate soldiers. Okay,
yeah.
Take down, close the school should not be Lee or Jackson. I get all that, right? But let's keep it straight on across the board. Don't change the history of it.
Don, let me add to that real quick, right? I'm with you 110%, right? Mm-hmm. What we need to happen, right? Because as long as we go into Caucasian and Jewish controlled studios, they're going to change the history. Yeah. It's just what comes with it, right?
Absolutely.
We have a brother by the name of Tyler Perry that has his own studio that's filming his own productions, funding his own movies now, right? He's no longer going through Warner Brothers or Sony.
But would Tyler Perry do this movie?
Listen. Right. This is what I'm saying, right? He no longer has to cut through that red tape. He no longer got to play politics. That was the purpose of him saying he was building the studio. Mm-hmm. So now he needs to tell the stories the right way. He need to get away from the Medea. But Medea's done. We got Medea, right? She an old big chick with a wig that carry a gun and she drive fast and run from the police.
Right.
You can't tell the story but so many different ways. Right. Let's get to the real shit now. Right. So let's get in here and tell the real stories, the real ways. Go ahead and make a Black Wall Street. And tell a real story, the real history.
But again, I just don't think Mr. Perry's interested in doing that.
Will black people watch it?
Because he had a great opportunity. They watch all the other nonsense.
No, they watch all
they watch all his nonsense.
But that was my point at the beginning of the show. I said
we
don't support all the other nonsense.
They came all around.
Why stop now?
We've made a lot of people rich for giving us straight bullshit, right? and I'm gonna tell you right now,
Black Panther flourished.
Okay, there has not been,
which was fictional.
There's not been one Tyler Perry movie that have met, and I tried.
That has bombed out. But all the movies are typically successful,
right? Because we go.
But none of them are.
We go right.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand your point. Thanks for bringing the point around, because you're right. But I'm just saying, you would think that the product coming out of there would be amazing.
You think the product would be
educational?
It would be real rap
and
at this point.
Educational, like brilliant
that's
product.
What I'm saying.
Right?
At this point,
you know, oh yeah, you know what? You would think, right, that we should be hearing about the movies that's coming out of that studio. Okay, that's going to present the real story, the real Rosa Parks story.
Correct.
Right? Okay?
But people don't want that story. Though.
Okay, the real Rosa Parks story. But nobody wants that story, man. They don't want the real Rosa Parks story. So I think we have whitewashed some of our history out.
Ourselves. No, this is my point. But this is my point.
Yeah, we have.
We can't keep looking at them saying what they have done to us. Look what we've done to ourselves.
Right. And we have let people simply because they were on a train or team with somebody that may have been great in that era, or they about to stood with them or marched with them, right? We have made these people great, even though they can't hold a stick to the great one that they followed. Wait, let me repeat that, right? There have been people who have marched with great people, right, that were not great in any way.
Are you talking about Jesse and them, though?
Wait. Let me just say this, right? But y'all hear me, man. There are people who have become recognized as great just for marching with great people.
Jesse, you hit me with that rock.
No, so we got to be careful, man, because we have whitewashed our history.
We
have known for a fact that some of these guys, maybe 70 and 80, that was allegedly with
Don's
great.
Scared to say the name, but you know I'm with the smoke.
No, that were allegedly with great people are total bullshitters, right? And they did nothing, okay? Nothing at all great from the point of marching with the great person, right? Listen, I know y'all love. I know y'all love the congressman from Alabama who passed on. I know that was y'all dude, man. You gotta go look at somebody's legislative record, please. Go look. Baltimore had this guy who was there forever, and all the big money that went to Baltimore went to the harbor. And the Negro in Baltimore was living like the Negro was living 35 years ago in the city of Baltimore.
Still is.
But he was a heroic guy because maybe he knew somebody or marched with somebody. We gotta be careful with this, guys.
Yeah.
We
I'm with you 110%.
whitewash our history, man. What? Listen, man. John Lewis, he marched with Martin. What's his legislative record? You follow me? You said Jesse, right? Go down the list, right?
No, you can go.
The thing about Jesse, I can point to some Jesse Jackson stuff. I actually can. I can't point to nothing Al Sharpton ever did. I can. No.
It is some stuff Jesse has done. I'm not going to go that far.
Way more than anybody else.
I'm not going to go that far.
Yeah.
But that still ain't saying a lot.
No. Again.
Okay. We tracking.
Al Sharpton has done nothing.
Yes, he has. When somebody get killed, he come out there with his team and they hold a press conference.
And some of these guys, at times when legislative action was needed, and
he's the original Ben Crump.
And they were ranking members, right, in Congress, right? They were chairs of committees when legislative action to help black people was right on the cusp, and many of these guys did nothing. So we got to stop letting people whitewash our history. Just because Dr. King might have liked some of these cats, I like some dudes, right? But that don't mean they gonna, get to a certain level. But we got to stop. Oh, he was with him. Okay, you go in. You with him. You go in. Right.
That ain't the way that works.
Remember that?
Yeah. That ain't
you
the
with
way
him.
that works.
Okay, you get a clear path to greatness, man.
That ain't how that works. That's your man.
Okay, you get a clear path to greatness because you knew somebody was great.
Yeah, nah. That ain't how that works.
So we need to stop playing with our own history.
And that was my only point.
Right. I know. And
that was my only point.
You brought it out brilliantly. But we got to stop whitewashing our history. Because if we don't stand for something, we'll fall for anything, man. We out here in the streets. Listen, again, you can skin a sheep one time, and it's a wrap.
You can shave them 100.
You keep shaving them.
That's
Shave
crazy.
some more. Shave some more, right?
That's crazy.
And that's what we have to be careful with, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Lining up to be played, but also for the sake of just having one. Would there be one?
Yeah.
Can we get one, right? That we start claiming people and giving them these acknowledgments, right?
Yeah.
And they did very little to get to that point, except for march with somebody, right?
Yeah.
I spilled blood in Selma. Osiris, thank you so much, right? We got to be careful, y'all. These guys are out here and they're going on home finally, right? Hopefully we can get some people to follow them, right? It's just you march with a guy who was great does not make you great. And those of us who are paying attention to our history, we should be like, yeah, that's a good point.
But it's not. But to add to that, Don, just because you march with a guy that don't make you great, if you march with a guy that's great, right? You understood the legacy, you understood the direction. You did nothing to continue that.
Right.
That's the bigger miss.
What did John Lewis do to continue Martin's conversation? I could tell you because I read. Hold on, y'all want to know? Follow me, email me, Don at the Don Miller Show. I could tell you what John Lewis did to continue Martin's legacy. kept telling everybody he was with Martin. Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But what stuff did you put in place?
He quickly pivoted.
To continue that fight.
He pivoted.
I ain't getting killed.
He pivoted for the long haul.
Yeah.
Okay. Martin knew what was coming.
Exactly.
Okay. And I'm telling you right now, guys, stop, man. Okay. So you march with somebody. I could tell you a story, that I don't want to tell y'all. But the point is,
one day a week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Thank you.
Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Head over to the Don Miller Show on all platforms. The time is there. Tell your friends about it. Please like and subscribe. Jay, man, I'm sorry. We came in here, and I've been going 100 miles an hour.
No, you're good.
Next week, we're going to be really solid. I'm going to take some time off to focus and wrap my arms around what we're trying to do here. But I apologize to Jay and to Phil.
No, we good.
It's okay.
I've been moving 100 miles an hour.
We good.
But again, thank you so much.
Don got me ad-libbing on the fly, though. That's what he's talking about.
And you're riding it out, man. You're riding it out, man. That's the only way you're going. I remember as a kid, right? They say you keep doing it, you're going to get gooder. Okay? I think it's important. It's great to have notes. I tend to have notes, but I just scribble down stuff when I'm thinking, right? Because I can't remember a lot of stuff no more.
Thankfully, he picking topics that I know something about.
No, but I know you read. So you read all the time. The point is, thank you so much again. Hey, we'll be back next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Also, the Don Miller Show streaming live on Facebook Fridays, 12 p.m. That's the radio side of the conversation in Central Florida. I'm on the radio. I can't remember the call letter stuff. Oh, yeah. 100.7 FM, the Don Miller Show. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye.